Getting out of bed is becoming difficult. Walking feels heavier than it used to. Maybe the problem isn't your age, it's sarcopenia, the silent loss of muscle mass that affects nearly half of seniors over 60, and when it progresses, first comes the cane, then the wheelchair. But what if I told you that a simple fruit, yes, a fruit could stop this process, rebuild your strength, and even restore your legs, like in the old days? Today, you'll discover 7 fruits recommended by doctors to fight sarcopenia and regain muscle with flavor, simplicity, and science. And the last one on the list is the most powerful. Very few people know this, so stay with me until the end, because it might be exactly what prevents you from losing your independence. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. This helps this information reach the people who need it most. And comment where you're listening from, just so I know you're part of the team that refuses to grow old by growing weaker. 1. Banana, the forgotten ally of aging muscle loss after age. 60 isn't just a natural part of aging, it's intensified by specific deficiency, mainly potassium and magnesium. When these minerals are low, the body enters a state of silent inflammation. Protein synthesis decreases and muscles begin to shrink, especially the legs, which support our weight and keep us steady. That's why sarcopenia creeps in so quietly. First comes weakness, then imbalance, until simple tasks like walking or stepping up become risky. This is where the banana comes in. So common, yet often underestimated. It's one of the most complete fruits for keeping muscles active after 60, rich in bioavailable potassium. It helps regulate nerve impulses and enables muscles to contract more efficiently. It also contains vitamin B6, which plays a role in producing neurotransmitters essential for motor control, something many older adults lose without even realizing. But it doesn't stop there. Bananas are also rich in magnesium, a key mineral for preventing nighttime cramps, muscle pain, and morning stiffness. As if that weren't enough, their high content of natural carbohydrates provides quick energy, perfect before a light walk or a simple home exercise, like standing up and sitting down in a chair for 10 repetitions. Want a practical tip? Try eating half a mashed banana with a spoonful of oats 30 minutes before bed. This helps prevent nighttime muscle breakdown, keeps blood sugar levels stable, and even improves sleep. Just don't overdo it. 1 medium banana per day is enough. And avoid overly ripe ones if you have prediabetes, since the sugar content increases significantly with ripeness. Have you ever underestimated the power of a banana? Tell me in the comments. Many people never imagined it could be a weapon against muscle loss. And if that surprised you, what's coming next may impress you even more, because the next fruit is rich in a compound that directly triggers the construction of new muscle fibers, something even medication can't do with such. Precision. 2 Kiwi, the collagen builder that strengthens your joints and legs. If your muscles are the body's engine, your joints are the gears that keep it moving. And there's no point in strengthening your leg muscles if your knees, ankles, and hips are weak, inflamed, or worn out. That's where many seniors stumble. The muscle may respond well to stimulation, but the pain or instability in the joints prevents continued physical activity. The result? Sarcopenia accelerates, and the risk of falling increases. Now, what few people know is that there's a fruit highly recommended by doctors for this type of joint and muscle recovery, and it's green, tangy, and full of tiny seeds, the kiwi. That's because it's one of the richest natural sources of bioavailable vitamin C, an essential nutrient for the production of type 1 and 3 collagen, precisely the types responsible for the integrity of tendons, ligaments, and the vascular walls that nourish the muscles. But kiwi goes even further. It also contains actinidin, a rare enzyme that improves protein digestion, making it easier for the body to absorb the amino acids needed to rebuild muscle fibers. In other words, if you eat eggs, meat, or legumes, but feel like you're not gaining strength, it may be that your body isn't properly absorbing the nutrients, and kiwi can help unlock that process. In addition, it's rich in antioxidants, like lutein and vitamin E, which fight oxidative stress, another factor that wears down muscle over time. And for those who suffer from constipation, common among older adults, kiwi also provides soluble fiber that improves bowel movements without causing discomfort. The ideal dose, 1 kiwi per day, preferably mid-morning or as an afternoon snack. It has a low glycemic index, making it safe even for those with controlled diabetes. Just avoid consuming it with milk or very cold yogurts, as the cold reduces actinidin activity in the stomach. And a warning, avoid kiwi if you have a history of latex allergy. Cross-reactivity can occur, though it's rare. If you've ever felt that you have the strength but your joints don't keep up, now you know why and what to do about it. And the next fruit is even more complete. It activates mitochondria, provides real muscle energy, and even combats chronic fatigue. You won't want to miss this. 3. Blueberry, the antioxidant that activates your mitochondria and drives away muscle fatigue. If there's anything more frustrating than losing leg strength, it's feeling like the energy just won't come, even when you're making an effort. Many seniors report the same pattern. They try to walk more, move around, improve their diet, but they still feel a strange fatigue, as if their legs weigh twice as much. This isn't laziness or complacency. In many cases, this exhaustion comes from inside the muscle cells, when the mitochondria responsible for producing energy begin to fail. And this is where one of the most powerful foods against cellular failure comes in: the blueberry. Small in size, but huge in effect. It's considered by many experts to be a superfood for longevity, and for good reason. Blueberries are extremely rich in anthocyanins, flavonoids that can protect and revitalize mitochondria, directly improving the production of ATP, the energy currency that powers muscle function. Most impressive is that studies show regular consumption of blueberries among seniors is associated with increased mobility, improved balance, and reduced muscle fatigue. That's because by strengthening mitochondria, blueberries improve tissue oxygenation and optimize the use of glucose and fat as fuel. This means more sustainable energy throughout the day, less weakness when walking, and greater stamina for small activities that once felt impossible. Another important point: blueberries combat free radicals that attack muscle fibers and accelerate degradation. When this oxidative action builds up, muscles lose elasticity, blood vessels constrict, and even nerve-to-muscle communication starts to falter. Including blueberries in your diet helps break this cycle of degeneration. They act like cellular armor, protecting both muscles and the peripheral nervous system. You can consume a 1/2 cup serving of blueberries per day at breakfast or as an afternoon snack. They can be fresh or frozen. Just avoid dried versions, as they often come with added sugar. If you want to boost the effect, mix it with plain yogurt or kefir, creating a perfect combination of antioxidants and probiotics. Now, if the price of fresh blueberries is high in your area, here's a tip: buy them frozen. They retain more than 90% of their bioactive compounds and are more affordable. And remember, investing in prevention is always cheaper than the cost of a fall, a hospital stay, or a permanent loss of mobility. Had you ever heard that this little berry could do so much for your muscles? Have you tried adding it to your routine? Or did you think it was just a trendy diet fad? Let me know in the comments. I want to know if this tip caught you by surprise, or if you're already a fan of this powerful antioxidant. And if you thought blueberries were impressive, get ready for what's next, because the next fruit activates the same repair system that elite athletes use to prevent injuries. And it might be sitting forgotten in your fruit bowl without you realizing its true potential. For avocado, the clean fuel that regenerates muscles during rest, there's a common mistake among many older adults who try to gain muscle mass. They focus only on protein intake and forget the importance of healthy fats. Without good fats, the body can't produce essential hormones for muscle growth, like testosterone and IGF-1, or maintain the integrity of muscle cell membranes. It's like trying to build a house with bricks but no cement. The nutrients go in, but they don't hold together, and they don't translate into real strength. Avocado comes in as one of the most strategic foods for anyone over 60 who wants not only to prevent muscle loss, but to rebuild mass intelligently. Rich in monounsaturated fats, it acts as clean fuel that improves the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K, all of which have direct roles in muscle, bone, and cardiovascular health. Even more, avocado is a natural source of oleic acid, which reduces chronic inflammation, one of the biggest enemies of aging muscle. Here's a fact few people know: avocado contains more potassium than bananas, and this mineral is essential for preventing muscle spasm, regulating heartbeats during exercise, and keeping blood pressure in check. All of that directly affects the safety of any body movement. In addition, it provides magnesium, which helps relax the muscles after exertion, preventing stiffness and nighttime pain, so common in later life. But perhaps the most interesting aspect of avocado is its impact during rest. Unlike energy fruits that should be consumed before activity, avocado works best when eaten at night. That's because its healthy fats promote a gradual release of energy, keep blood sugar levels stable, and help release anabolic hormones during deep sleep. This is the time when the body performs muscle repair and consolidates what was stimulated during the day. You can eat 1/4 of an avocado plain with a bit of lemon before bed, or use it as a base for a nighttime smoothie with cocoa and plant-based milk. Another practical option is to include it in your dinner, in salads, or as a spread. Just avoid overdoing it if you have kidney problems or are on a calorie-restricted diet under medical advice. As it is also energy-dense, the good news is that avocado not only nourishes muscles, but also supports brain health, lowers bad cholesterol, and improves skin elasticity. It's a true anti-aging food that too few people value as they should, and contrary to what many believe, it doesn't cause weight gain if eaten in the right amount. On the contrary, it may even help reduce abdominal fat, which affects balance and puts extra pressure on the knees. Do you usually eat avocado at night? Have you ever tried a functional recipe with it? Or do you still think it's just an ingredient for breakfast smoothies? Let me know in the comments if this information changed how you see this fruit. Sometimes, a simple adjustment in timing can make all the difference in results. And in the next section, we're going to talk about a fruit that seems harmless, but has a direct effect on muscle mass and immunity. Its secret lies in a compound few people know about, but one that could transform how your body responds to aging. Don't miss it. 5. Guava, the natural leucine and vitamin C bomb to slow muscle loss. SIF, you feel like you're eating better, trying to move more, and still losing strength and muscle tone. You may be missing a key ingredient that makes all of this work. Leucine, amino acid, acts like the on switch for muscle building. Without it, your body may receive proteins, but won't activate the processes that turn them into real muscle. What few people know is that one of the richest natural sources of leucine is found in a tropical fruit, inexpensive, easy to find, and incredibly overlooked. Guava, especially the red variety, is one of the most complete foods for senior health, rich in leucine, vitamin C, lycopene, and soluble fiber. It works on multiple levels, stimulating muscle protein synthesis, protecting cells from oxidative damage, and improving gut health, which is essential for efficient nutrient absorption. An almost perfect combo for maintaining lean mass while also avoiding recurrent infections, immune drops, and inflammation that accelerates muscle aging. Did you know, for example, that guava contains 4 times more vitamin C than oranges? And not just any vitamin C, it's highly bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs and uses it quickly for collagen production, mitochondrial protection, and tissue repair. This directly impacts not only your strength, but also your recovery. After simple physical activities like a walk or strengthening exercise, another external benefit is guava's role in regulating blood sugar, thanks to its soluble fiber content, such as pectin. This helps prevent glucose spikes that inflame the body and silently damage muscle cells. In fact, studies show that frequent guava consumption may help reduce insulin resistance, a factor strongly linked to lean mass loss in older adults, especially in the legs and torso. The best way to consume it is with the peel, where most antioxidants are concentrated. You can eat it raw, add it to fruit, salads, or blend it with water for a natural juice. The recommended functional dose is 1 medium guava per day, or half a guava twice a day. Avoid candied or crystallized versions. They lose nutrients and are loaded with sugar. And an important note, if you have a very sensitive digestive system, start slowly. Guava has many seeds, and while they aid digestion for many, they can cause discomfort in some people. In that case, go for the blended and strained pulp without adding sugar. Did you already know that guava could do so much for your muscles? It's amazing how simple foods, even those that grow in our backyards, are often overlooked while we chase expensive, complicated solutions. Tell me in the comments if this fruit is part of your routine or if it's going back on your shopping list after today. And if you liked this tip, what comes next is even more impressive, because the next fruit acts directly on the muscle's brain. It improves the connection between your nervous system and muscles, increasing firmness, balance, and even the speed of your movements. 6. Strawberry, the bridge between brain and muscle that improves balance and prevents falls. Have you noticed that, over the years, your reflexes have gotten slower? That simple stumbles happen more often, and your balance isn't quite what it used to be. This isn't just muscle weakness. In many cases, the real culprit is the loss of connection between the brain and the muscle. It's as if the wires of an old telephone were rusting. The command is sent, but it arrives delayed or distorted. And this can cause not only unsteadiness while walking, but serious falls, leading to fractures, hospitalizations, and a loss of autonomy. And here comes a fruit that many people associate only with dessert, but that has a direct effect on this vital communication system. The strawberry, small, tasty, and accessible. It's one of the fruits with the highest concentration of flavonoids called physitin and quercetin, bioactive compounds that act directly on cognitive and neuromuscular function. In studies conducted with seniors, frequent strawberry consumption was associated with significant improvement in working memory, reaction speed, and body balance. But the impact of strawberries goes beyond the mind. These flavonoids also have neuroprotective effects. That is, they help preserve motor neurons, which are responsible for sending the commands that make muscles contract and relax at the right time. When this transmission is compromised, muscles respond slowly, and the risk of falls increases. Strawberries protect this pathway and even help maintain grip strength, which is an important marker of physical vitality in people over 60. In addition, strawberries are rich in vitamin C and manganese, two nutrients essential for connective tissue regeneration and for the formation of antioxidant enzymes like superoxide dismutase. This means less inflammation, faster recovery after exertion, and muscles more resistant to the wear and tear of time. And if that weren't enough, they also have a low glycemic index, making them safe for those with type 2 diabetes or metabolic syndrome. 2. Gain the real benefits of strawberries. Consume 6 to 10 units per day, preferably fresh and organic, to avoid excessive pesticide exposure, since this fruit is among the most contaminated when conventionally grown. If organic prices are high, an alternative is to wash them thoroughly with water and baking soda before eating. Avoid syrupy or processed strawberries, as they lose all active compounds and become nothing more than concentrated sugar. Now, a practical tip: blend strawberries with flaxseed and a bit of plain yogurt for a functional snack that activates your muscles, improves gut health, and stabilizes hormone levels. It's simple, delicious, and can be made in under 5 minutes. Have you ever felt more unsteady while walking or had a fall without a clear explanation? Tell me in the comments, because these types of stories help others relate and seek solutions before the problem gets worse. And pay attention to the next section, because now we're going to talk about the fruit that appeared in the thumbnail, the one that looks like dessert but is actually a medicinal food. It not only helps rebuild muscle during sleep, but also reduces cortisol levels, the hormone that silently robs your strength and accelerates muscle loss. 7. Date, the medicinal dessert that halts catabolism and nourishes your muscles while you sleep. While you sleep, your body is far from being at rest. This is the time when cells regenerate, hormones are produced, and muscles begin to rebuild. But all of this only happens effectively if the right nutrients are circulating in the bloodstream. For many older adults, this process doesn't occur as it should, and what should be a time of restoration becomes a period of loss. This silent loss of muscle mass during the night has a name: nocturnal catabolism, and it's what makes you wake up with more pain, more stiffness, and less strength than the day before. That's why the last fruit on our list couldn't be anything else. The date, sweet, soft, creamy, and incredibly powerful. This ancient fruit, used for millennia in Arabic and Asian medicine, contains a unique nutritional profile, rich in tryptophan, potassium, magnesium, and slow-releasing natural sugars. The date promotes a mild anabolic state during sleep. This means it helps the body remain in muscle-building mode rather than breakdown mode. One of the greatest benefits of dates lies in their ability to reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, which, when elevated at night, blocks the release of testosterone and GH2 hormones essential for muscle gain and preservation. By eating 1 or 2 dates about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, you help your body wind down and enter a physiologically relaxed state, creating the ideal conditions for muscle regeneration. Another little-known fact is that dates also contain boron, a mineral that supports hormonal regulation and improves the absorption of calcium and magnesium, both essential for muscles and bones. And because they're rich in antioxidants like flavonoids and tannins, they fight oxidative damage that weakens muscle tissue over time. Additionally, dates are one of the few fruits that provide small amounts of essential amino acids, acting almost like a natural supplement. Dates are also excellent for people who struggle with sleep. The tryptophan they contain is converted into serotonin and then into melatonin, helping to induce deep sleep, which is precisely the stage when muscles recover most. In other words, dates not only protect lean mass, but also improve sleep quality, which further enhances muscle health. But take note, dates are calorie-dense and have a moderate glycemic index. Ideally, consume up to 2 dates per night, preferably alongside a healthy fat source, such as a teaspoon of almond butter or a few pumpkin seeds, to balance blood sugar release. Avoid crystallized dates or those stuffed with industrial sugar. These versions cancel out all the benefits. Had you ever thought that a sweet fruit like the date could function as a nighttime supplement? Have you ever used it this way, as part of a strategic muscle rebuilding routine? Tell me in the comments, because this kind of simple tip can transform how many older adults take care of their health. And before you go, there's something you need to find out, because the date on its own is already powerful. But when combined with one specific ingredient, creamy, functional, and accessible, it can completely transform what happens in your body while you sleep. In the previous video, I showed you how a simple spoonful of natural peanut butter before bed can trigger muscle building, protect your muscles from overnight loss, and even improve sleep quality. And maybe that's exactly the missing piece in your routine. Go watch it now, because understanding this detail could be the turning point between continuing to weaken in silence or finally turning the game in favor of your strength.